Gamaya Tamasho ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityur ma Amritam Gamaya Avir Maedhi Rudro Yatte Dakshinang Mukham Te Namang Pahi Nityam Te Namang Pahi Nityam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. And evermore shine in our hearts with your resplendent face. Om peace, peace, peace. So we are back to our study of the Nectar of Supreme Knowledge, and we are making a brief analysis of our chapters what we have read. So we did the chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. Now we like to focus on chapter 4. And this chapter 4's name is Manolaya. Manolaya means dissolution of the mind. So we have read this part. That if we can go one by one as we have gone through, it will teach us that we are in this bondage because we are attached to the world, we are attached to things around us. That the very first chapter was called detachment, vairagya. So detachment is necessary. Second point came, why shall I detach? It looks so good, it is so charming. This world is full of sweetness, charm, beauty. Why shall I give up? No. Second chapter deals with its unreal nature, unreal nature of the universe. Look at that. What you are trying to go and fall in love with it, it is not eternal. It is all changing. In split moment it changes. So you should detach, you should renounce. That is the detachment, reason for detachment. But how can you detach? That why shall I detach? Because I want knowledge. What knowledge will bring? It will make you free. So knowledge of what? Knowledge of who am I? So that third chapter dealt with the Tattva Jnana Prakarana. The chapter dealing with Tattva Jnana, the truth. Truth, what is the truth? Big truth. This not this relative truth. It is the knowledge. You should have to have that knowledge. Then detachment will come. Then analysis of the real nature will be. You have to parallelly judge. This is impermanent. This is permanent. So tattva means the truth. That is the eternal truth is here. And why are you running for these changing objects of the universe, which is unreal? Now today we'll be reading the chapter number 4 chapter, that is called the Mano Loyo Prakarana. Mano means the mind, loyo means absorption of dissolution. But this dissolution is not the highest dissolution, that's why it is called temporary absorption. Mano Loyo. Because if you dissolve that mind also, but there will remain remnant, subtle attractions, subtle impressions of the mind. Next chapter will talk about vasana. So you first destroy the mind in the surface. Then will come the subconscious. Then you will have to deal with that. Conscious, subconscious. So next chapter will be then cessation of the latent impression. Vasana, this desire, should subdued, and that will give you the freedom. So today our study is then, we know that we have to detach. Why to detach? Second chapter told us it is unreal nature of the universe. Whatever you see, nothing is permanent, eternal. Therefore you will have to detach. And how shall I detach? How shall I know? You know the truth, which is eternal. So the knowledge of that truth has been described in the last class. And today we'll be talking about how to get absorbed in that law consciousness. No? I am absorbed in this world, but I have to absorb into that Atman or Tattva, the truth. How can we do that? This chapter deals with those ideas. And this chapter has 25 verses. So we'll sweep over the verses to give a comprehensive idea of the whole chapter. Now, the dissolution. How that is talking about the mind should be dissolved. So that idea has been mentioned here by Vasishtha, the teacher. Vasishtha said, consciousness itself is untainted. Again, this consciousness itself takes the shape of its own mind, and this self, out of its own volition, only imagines objects according to its own wish and then runs after it. It's a miracle. It is called the Maya. Why? Mind is called Maya. Because the consciousness itself is untainted. No? As a nature, Satchidananda, God, is untainted. It is not colored by coloring of anything. It does not become pure or impure. It does not become red or white. It is all the time eternally same. So, but when the mind comes, consciousness itself actually takes the shape of the mind. And mind, in its own way, it creates this self out of its own volition. This self is here. They create it mind out of its own fancy. It creates this in volition, own fancy, that is the volition, imagines different objects. And different objects, seeing these different objects, we wish to have it and hold it and run after that. So, very beautifully expressed in one verse that this is the play of the mind. There is only Satchidananda Brahman. But this Maya is such, or mind is Maya. So mind, the consciousness takes the shape of the mind itself, for me, or an ignorant person like us. And because the mind is colored in coloring, and mind creates, this object is good. Mind creates the object also. There is no permanent object in the world. If the same object is really can be the source of all joy, so everyone will like the same thing. Huh? If it is given, favorite example, though we say ice cream, ice cream. Suppose if I talk about ice cream, 20 people will be favoring ice cream. 10 will say, no, I don't like it. So each one's mind is teaching this is good, this is bad. Now, objectively, the world is all, you can say, what is that? That is called Brahman, the Tattva, which we, third chapter, we finished that idea. It is only the Tattva, the truth. When you know the truth, then you see the only one. But mind is such a stupid thing. It creates the objects and makes us run towards that. The mind creating that, and mind runs towards it. Mind gives that it's good, or repels, oh, this is bad, come out that way. So it is the function of the mind. So this world is nothing but your mind. Therefore, etasmat sarvagat devat sarvashaktir mahatmana, the power that creates the division of this world arises from the omnipresent, all-powerful, undivided, supreme Ishvara, just as waves rise in water. This world is only wave in the ocean of consciousness. As in the ocean, there comes the water comes as waves and ripples, etc. So I want that there is one undivided, all-powerful, omnipresent, supreme reality we call Ishvara or God or Brahman. But the power that creates the division, that is the mind. Mind creates in that one so many things. Third verse says, therefore, under these circumstances, Ataha sankalpa siddhayang sankalpanaiva shamati. Therefore, this an object destroyed only by the same ingredients from which it originates. No? So you want to destroy the object, the wave, you should go back to the root cause. The water created the wave. You call it wave. Water created what is called the ripple, bubble. So it is the same ingredient. If you go back to the ingredient, then the form is melted away. So which forms out is again extinguished by, suppose the object which is destroyed only by the same ingredients from which it originate, just as fire. Suppose fire, which is formed out of air, is again extinguished by the wind alone. A blast of wind may come, it can stop the fire also. Therefore, the continuity of the universe, which is created by worldly resolution, is destroyed only by resolution. So now it is said, therefore, the world remains continuously here. Why? The, uh, the continuity of the universe, which is created by worldly resolution, mind resolve this, resolve that. That same resolution, if you take out the resolution, then it will go back to its own form, Brahman. That means mind is thinking it is world. You take the mind off from it, it will see the Brahman remains Brahman. Mind is imaginative. Mind is creative. We also say in our day-to-day term, he is very creative. Creative means in the mind. So, therefore, one should have to take the course of resolution. A new resolution is to be brought to counteract the worldly resolution by Brahman resolution. That's why the bad tendencies are to be replaced solely by good resolutions. Inauspicious desires to auspicious desire. That is the point. We'll have to do it. So, verse number 4 on page 158. Therefore, due to the mental resolution caused by even the slightest lack of discrimination, the mind is imagined like that of one's own death seen in one's dream. If it is viewed from the perspective of discrimination, then its existence can no longer be found. So it is the mind has resolved and mind has created that this is existing. I like it. I dislike it. It's the mind's creation. So when the mind is destroyed, mano amuneibo abhuditam monag evan abikshitam sapno sasapnom maranakar. If someone is seeing his own death, in the dream, someone is saying, oh, I am dead. No? But that is created by what? The death of the body is created by the mind. Same mind is seeing and same mind is saying, I am dead. So it's a creation of the mind by the object, what is there, it is only. So this is a Vedanta stands on this understanding that everything is the creation of my mind. There is nothing except there is only God. Sarvam khalu idam Brahma. Brahman alone is truth. But whatever I am seeing, it is my mind is creating. You may say, how I am seeing this table, you are also seeing the table. How it is mind. My mind is separate from your mind. But there is a cosmic mind. In that cosmic mind, this world dream has come out. And in that dream, everyone sees the same thing. Like in your dream, when you dream at the night time, look at that, what happens? Only your mind is there, which created the whole dream world. And in that dream, your mind has created the sun, the moon, the stars, or the traffic in the road, so many cars, car accident. And the people in that dream, they are created by your mind. Who has created the people? Mind. And those people enacting in one way or the other way, that's also your mind. It's just very serious thinking. What happens, just imagine in your dream that whenever you are dreaming, in last night you dreamed something, and there are 10 people, someone is angry with you, someone is fighting, someone is loving, whatever. But who are these people? Where did it come from? Who created? Your mind only created. And also the behavior of each individual, even they're fighting with you. Who is the inspirer? Your mind is the inspirer. Your mind has split itself in different segments, and your mind is working among each other. So, if you take out the mind, then you are good sleep. When night time, when don't you sleep, a dream, what happens? That's the perfect moment of joy because you go to sleep. So, but this dream is happening because of the mind. Therefore, dissolution of the mind. Try to dissolve the mind. And don't be a slave of the mind, as we are all slaves of our mind. Whatever our mind says, it's I think, my point, it is your mind. Nonsense. Your mind says today this, your mind will say the tomorrow other way. And when you will attain Brahma-Jnana, then the mind is gone, you will see Brahman only. There you will see Krishna everywhere. They call Krishna, those who are Krishna devotee. Those are Ram devotee, they call see Rama everywhere. So, the fourth verse we have read, that's what says, due to the mental resolution caused by even the slightest lack of discrimination, when we cannot discriminate perfectly that what is permanent, what is impermanent, what is my mind creating, and what is the reality here is God only. But my mind is creating the impression of my likings and dislikings, all these things. So I should have to destroy that. That's why slightest lack, when you lose the analysis, discrimination, the mind is imagined like that one's own death as seen in one's dream. If it is viewed from the perspective of analysis or discrimination, then its existence can no longer be found. If you analyze, then you see mind is not there, world is not there. Your dream is also not there. Fifth verse on page 159. The nature of mind is again described here. What is that? Asammag darshanang jat sat. Anatmani atmabhavanam. What is the nature of mind? Mind is that it does not see asammag darshan. Sammag darshan means right thing, to see rightly. That's called sammag. Asammag means it shows you opposite. It is something else, and you are like gross example all the time we give. It is a rope, it is telling me the snake. And thinking of the snake, all my reactions started. Our whole life is like this. Look at that. Everything is happening because how your mind reacts. You are happy if your mind is favorable. You are unhappy if your mind is not favoring you. So whatever we see, it is only the mind and mind and mind. Mind creates terror, mind creates fear, mind creates joy. It is all in the mind. A gross example. One mother is staying at a distance and son is in another place. Son, in certain accident, died. And mother there didn't know anything. Mother has a party. Mother is very happy doing party there. And nobody has informed. She will get shocked and she will be fainted or she will collapse, no? After 10 days when she started crying. If there is a relationship with the son's death and her crying, then she should have cried whenever he is dead. But in reality, it happens. But until the information reaches to her, she thinks son is there, I am happy, he is happy, my son is happy. So who is creating this suffering and who is giving you at the point of death also you are not unhappy. You are very happy.
But actually, there are two sun. One is real, one existing. Another is that her mind created sun.
That is the point, mind created sun we are talking. That's the mind. We are coming to that point. Our real sun means real object in the world. But I create some fascination for that. Real world is dependent on your mind. There is no reality of the world. Oh, everything what remains because of the mind. So anyway, so therefore, oh Rama, the understanding that the non-self object like the body etc. are the self is an incorrect perception. Know that to be the mind which takes us as real, this world born of illusion. This world is not there, but it gives you the experience of reality. It is your mind. So no other agency is there. It's a, the entire verse or verse after verse will be told in the same plane, only to understand that it is your mind. Take care of your mind. Your mind is the culprit. Don't blame anyone. Reshape your mind, reconstruct your mind. So that's why meditation we do. Mind is thinking of this changeful object. We want to think of Atman. We want to think of God in divine forms. Now, how to destroy the mind? Again, another option is given. 6th verse on page 160. It says, "This embodied self is me. All these objects like wealth and so forth belong to me." The mind is full of such erroneous knowledge. Does the mind gets dissolved? So you have to analyze this embodied self, and this is me, this flesh and bone, the mixture of this. All these objects like wealth and so forth belong to me. Me and mine, me and mine. The mind is full of this erroneous knowledge, this type of mistaken understanding is our mind is filled with that. Now, how will you be free when you think, no, 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 not it is this is not me, and these are not mine. I am self. When this type of discrimination come, and then mind will dissolve. Otherwise, mind will go on playing his own nasty drama. And 7th verse on page 161 again, it says, to accept that which is agreeable and to renounce absolutely that is disagreeable is the very nature of the mind. Our mind plays a trick. I like it. When I like it, I embrace it, I try to protect it, I fight for that, I do everything. As if that is the be all and end all of life. So to accept that which is agreeable, I like it, agrees with me, and to renounce absolutely that which is disagreeable is the very nature of the mind. It is a play of the mind. You will have to think that mind works in this way. No, this is to be bondage. When you run after your agreeable things, you are a slave. You are a slave of your own mind. When you just, because your mind does not want you rebounds, you are a slave of your own mind. You are in bondage. So, page 161 says, no, this is to be bondage alone, and nothing other than this. No one is chained in your hand with a iron shackles. But mind, which says that it is agreeable, so I like it. It is disagreeable, I don't like it. I run away. And this is the bondage. Why? Because in the ultimate view, What is agreeable, what is non-agreeable? There is only one truth. And that truth is called Brahman or Atman or the Satchidananda or God, simple language. 8th verse much more clearly says on page 163 that, what does it say? Now, the mind alone creates the world. Again and again, the same idea. The mind creates the world. Why? Because this world is world. Why you like this world and why you dislike this world? If it is the world, world is world. But the same place is horrible for someone, horrible for someone. Who is creating this distinction? It is your mind. So mind alone creates this world. The individual soul is nothing but the mind. What I am is my mind. So that's why purified mind is a Brahmajnani. Impure mind, an idiot like us. So this is the mind. Don't pamper your mind. Rather dissolve the mind. Say, I am not the mind. Whatever mind brings, don't run after that. Then you are in bondage. You run. We are all running. What is the speciality in that? The whole world is running. I understand. It's my idea. Okay, go, run. And run. Whole life you run. And anything done with the particular attitude of the mind becomes like that alone. Whatever is done physically is not really done. Whatever you do physically is not. Whatever your mind does, that is you are doing. More important. I innocent at a boy, a child does not know anything. There is a gun or a rifle or small gun maybe, or so he triggered something and bullet went out and it killed somebody. Because he's a innocent, what done is not done. Police will not come to take this 6 years, 5 years baby to take it to the jail because his mind is not developed. Mindfully not doing. But if anyone actually kills someone, the whole police department runs after him to catch him and punish him. Why? He is doing with the mind, fully aware of the mind. So therefore, what is done with the mind is actually done. What is done by the body is not done. And they have given gross example. With the very same body, a man lustfully embraces his wife and also embraces his own baby, daughter, with affectionate, filial love. Same person, two women body, one with the attitude of, one attitude is my child, and there a filial emotion comes out. And in another case, it comes in another way. So this is the point. Who is creating it? It is your mind is creating. People sometimes say, oh, this place is horrible. You cannot stay. It's on dangerous. His mind is telling. And the same mind will say, it is heaven. Heaven and hell is in your mind. You create your mind. And you make the place hell or heaven by your mind. So it is said, therefore, the Monayevo Manushyanam, Amrito Bindu Upanishad, they have quoted, they said, this verily mind, this mind is the cause of bondage and also of liberation. The mind becomes the cause of bondage when attached to the worldly objects and becomes the cause of liberation when it has no worldly objects. 9th verse on page 164. The mind step is the cause of existence of all material object. Mind step means mind. Chitta. Chitta means mind, intellect, ego, and memory. As long as there is chitta, the three worlds also appear in one perception, one's perception as real. When the chitta becomes attenuated, free from desires, this world becomes non-existing even while there. Therefore, one should treat this chitta, meaning the mind, with immense care. Once he was talking about mind, now he is using the term chitta. More explanatory, mind is the same mind. And chitta and mind are not different because chitta is a comprehensive idea about your intellect, your ego, your mind, and your memory faculty. All together is called chitta. In the Raja Yoga, we say chitta vritti nirodha. The chitta vritti, the ripples of the chitta, should be flattened so that mind is not rippled. So this is the point. Chittang, the mind stuff, is the cause of the existence of the material. In the mind it is there. But it's Brahmajnani, they don't see the object, they see Brahman only. Only one object they see, but we see in the same one multiplicity. And some is pleasing, some is displeasing because of our mind. Therefore, one should treat this chitta. You have to treat, money, polish it, correct it, change it, purify it. Whole spiritual sadhana is only purifying the mind. In Bhakti Yoga you go, in Jnana Yoga you go, Karma Yoga you go. Chittasya shuddhaye karma. Karma, why you do karma? Selfless karma. Chittasya shuddhaye. You purify your chitta. Jnana Yoga, you see, free from mind, you are not body, not intelligence, not ego. Polish. You are Atman, you are Atman, you are Atman. Meditation, your chitta is there. Chitta was thinking of material object. No. You replace it. You think of, in your chitta, think of your chosen ideal. So that is transforming the chitta. The whole spiritual sadhana is nothing but chitta. Love God. That's it. Tune your mind to God consciousness. That's a chitta. See, that's why don't pamper your chitta, but try to clear it, purify it. 10th verse says, O Rama, vasanaya baddham muktam nirvasanam manaha. O Rama, mind goes into the state of bondage. How? Through desire. I want to have this. Desire is good. Desire for God. Desire for big thing. We desire petty thing. Here, desire is same. Ramakrishna is desiring to see mother. Spiritual sadhaka goes, oh Lord, please show me. It's a desire. But this desire is not bondage. This desire makes one free. So they say, O Rama, vasanaya baddham muktam. In vasana, when you have the desire, state of bondage to desire alone. And muktam nirvasanam mana. You become mukta, free, when you become nirvasana. No vasana. Holy Mother said, if you can become nirvasana, free from desire, now. Liberation is here and now, this moment. So that is the therefore key. Therefore, tasmat, Vasishtha says on verse number 10 on page 165 bottom, that alone liberation as soon as it becomes free from desire. You become liberated, the same person becomes liberated as soon as it becomes free from desire. Therefore, quickly dispose of all desires of the mind with the help of discernment. Therefore, do away with your desire. How? Two ways are there. One, those who need some experience, let them go and do experience. Quickly finish that experience. You want to eat rasagolla, eat 20 rasagollas. You want to have ice cream, okay, go on ice cream shop and take 20 varieties of ice cream and eat for 1 month. And finish. Oh, I've seen it. But how long you will eat? Therefore, you can change yourself. Okay, that it is true. ice cream, but I have seen, I have tasted, I am not interested anymore. Mentally, by analysis, you can discard also. People learn by two ways. By seeing someone, you learn something. You are intelligent, more intelligent. And you experience yourself. Someone is saying, don't put your finger in the fire. Why? I'll do it. Go and do it. Once you got burned and forget. Again you do burn. Again forget. Again you burn. Then you see, no, no, no. Hey, don't go. Go to the fire and put the finger. Then you learn. So learn by seeing those who can learn, they are advanced souls. Those who cannot, let them go for experience. But with analysis, if you enjoy anything, then you will soon come back to your real knowledge. Even if you do unconsciously, it will come back, but it will take longer time. So one is the path of experiencing and enjoying through the whatever the sensate world can give. Another, seeing the world, Buddha. See, Buddha was enjoying his life as a prince. But when he saw the reality of life, oh, old age, oh, sickness, oh, death, these are reality. Oh, there is a monk who is so bright, is free from all bondage. Saw all this and learned, burst, decided. Just pack up everything, gave up everything, and then went back on the forest. Finished. Learning can be done by own experience, or learning can be seen. That is, an advanced soul can see things and learn. But
Also, enjoying through this Thakur is wearing expensive shawl and stuff.
that is a very too high. Ramakrishna using a shawl, that's a very high. They are showing that Bhashana, next chapter. The latent impression, though you can give up physically. Say, I don't take sweets. But occasionally I look at that, what is that, and gobble something. That means you have the Bhasana. Latent impression is there. It is hiding inside. You superficially see you are a holy man. But that is the lurking behind. So that's the second stage. So Ramakrishna did that with that high level. The little trace of thing. That's why I said, you want to eat something, eat some pan, have some cigarette. What is there in it? Finish. And you know that is not giving you liberation. And then go for higher thing. So this is the point here, that it becomes free from there. Therefore, quickly dispose of. And Vasishtha is saying, the Guru is telling that quickly finish all your desires of the mind with the help of how? You can go through the experience or by analysis. See, this person did this and see what he got it.
So when you go for a desire, what happens is it increases the want to experience again. So how can it be reconciled?
But there will be a point when you will be frustrated.
Yeah.
Go for 10 days, 1 day to 2 days, 2 days to 5 days to 10 days, 1 month. Then a point will come, at the point of monotony will come, frustration will come. Then you say, hey, what am I doing? I'm not getting the joy I want. I'm not getting freedom. I'm getting totally entangled into it. And it's making me a slave of the thing. So where is my freedom? I am a slave. So that will come, must have to come. So therefore, here they are suggesting they are advanced student by discernment only. By analyzing that this cannot give joy, and I have tried it many times, and I am seeing many people in the world, they are doing the same thing. So let me analyze and separate out. And look at the world as divine. That's why to a Brahmogani, good is good, bad is also good. Because they see Brahma. Good and bad was the mind. When the mind becomes gone, and mind is purified, they see Brahman only. So for Ramakrishna, one prostitute and one who is in the temple. The same. Because they don't see the mind is not creating that trouble for him. Though the physical world, yes, there are differences. Because we live in the level of the mind. There is good, there is bad, there is high, there is low, there is pure, there is impure. But for a person of wisdom, because his mind is no more playing any drama with him, it can fail to do that. That's why he is free soul. Example 11. The worldly objects is named again on verse number 11, is saying that the way the line of clouds stain the moon, the way the black ink whitewashed wall, this wall is a simple ink can make it dirty, no? So does the evil spirit in the form of desire pollute a person's mind. Someone's mind becomes polluted with the desire. So, you have to understand another point. Desire does not mean that you will not eat, to wear dress. Desire does not mean that you will have a house, a car. But desire means attachment. Let it have, but it is there. It's Lord's thing. So that's why devotees think it is Lord's house, Lord's material. So I am not me. So detaching, that is desire. Desire means which makes us subject to suffering and pain. Desire. 12th verse, it says, O Rama, when the aspirant or student who is introverted offer in the fire of consciousness these three worlds in his own mind as an oblation like dry grasses, the erroneous cognition of the mind stuff and the like ceases in no time. So what does it say? That when the mind becomes drawn inside and they try to think that there is a fire of purity in my heart, and there everything in this world, whatever desire comes, they give as oblation. As you do the home of fire. So any desire, you put it there and you feel that that is getting burned. What remains? Light remains only. So desires die away that way. So analyze and then kill that desire. 13th verse on page 171. When the mind, the knower of the agreeable and the disagreeable objects, this mind renounces everything. How will renounce? Realizing they are unreal. And the mind can remain in its calmness and no longer remembers the worldly object. At that very moment, the mind gets dissolved. Now, when will you know that your mind has dissolved? This is the point you know that your mind is dissolved. Means your mind, the knower of the agreeable and disagreeable. My mind knows. One part of my mind splits into two. One mind becomes observer, another becomes observable. And in that observable mind, it agreeable, this I like, this I dislike is going on. When he understands this with the pure mind, split the mind in two ways. We meditate every day. You split your mind in two ways. You see as it, you are thinking your mind is going here, mind is going there. Huh? The same mind is splitting into two segments as it were. And then if you observe that, going to disagreeable thing or disagreeable thing, analyze, no. It is only the Brahman is there, only God is there. In this thought, when it comes back to consciousness, then your mind becomes purified. And that is renounces everything. Nothing to go outside for choosing anything or disregarding anything. Remember, so the worldly object loses its attention, attachment. And every moment the mind gets dissolved. That is the point, the mind gets dissolved. That means mind is to be purified And the same mind will act in observable mind and observed mind. That we call intellect. Another name is intellect. And when I see, mind runs for this object and we can analyze. Hey, why are you running? What will you get it there? What you are searching for? Is it not God there? Or disagreeable? You run away. What is there? It is only God. When these two things analyze, and they can see God here and there, automatically this mind, disturbing mind, dissolves and the pure mind remains. Now the verse number 14. This chitta, the mind is dreadful in the waking state. During dream state it is murha, meaning dull. At the time of deep sleep, chitta is calm and santa. As soon as the chitta becomes free from these three states, then alone does it get dissolved. When you see your mind is dead, our mind is never dead. Why? Now it is called, is awakened. Now we are waking in the waking state. Mind is alert. That is called the ghora state of my mind. Now, when it goes to dream, half intoxicated, no? Is not so much aware. It's dull. That's why it's called ghora. And the third, when you go to deep sleep, it is almost, mind is gone, but still mind remains. That's called the santa. So these three states, when you go beyond that, is it? Jagrat, Shapna, Shushupti. Waking state, dream state, sleep state. You can go beyond this, then your mind is calm. Then you know that you have reached a state of calmness. That means renounce the waking state, with analyze, go to the deep sleep, sleep and deep sleep. Dream, sleep, three states, go beyond that. Jagrat, Sapna, Susupti, Turiya. Then is your mind free. 15 verse. It says, as the powdered kataka destroys the dart of the water by dissolving it, similarly know that one should destroy the mind by dissolving in it in the self. As in early days in India, they used to purify the dirty water. They used to bring water from the pond or reservoir and they to put one type of fruit powder. It's called the fruit. And this powder, what it does, all the dirty things, it settles down in the bottom. So the people used to take the water in the top side. So similarly, this example is given here that as this powder destroys the dart of the water and dissolves it, similarly, one should destroy the mind. How? By dissolving into the self. That means think of the self. I am the pure self. I am the stainless, birthless, deathless, one without a second. Think of that, and that will purify. Again, emphasizing the same idea on the verse number 16. Know that the mind alone is called samsara. This world, as you see, the world, it is nothing but this samsara. What is this samsara? Your mind is the samsara, or the world. Indeed, the worldly existence, mind is the only which creates this. Therefore, the mind has been described as bondage. Just as a tree moves to and fro by the wind, likewise this body also is directed by the mind only. How our hand is moving, how our mouth is talking, it is who is directing? Brain. Who is behind the brain? The energy, prana. Who is behind the prana? The mana, mind. Actually, mind is directing whatever is. I speak the same thing. My hand moves, my leg moves, my movement happens, my work. So it is the mind only which. That's why physical body is a gross form of mind. Mind is a subtle level. Therefore, 17th verse on page 176 translation. At the very outset, conquer your own mind. That is the advice of Vasishtha, sum and substance of this on entire chapter's idea. That at the very outset, conquer your own mind by pressing one palm with the other, grinding teeth with teeth, and oppressing the limb with another. That means with all determination. Try to, at the very beginning, conquer your mind. We want to conquer the outside world. We want to conquer environment. But we are the worst guy. We don't conquer ourselves. Our mind, we have become all slaves of our mind. And mind, whatever it wants, it can just take me to that direction. 18th verse. Therefore, why does this stupid person not feel ashamed who speaks of meditation but cannot conquer his own mind, which runs around in its own whims? Is it just criticizing that? Vasishtha says, why does not stupid person feel ashamed? That is, we stupid people, why don't you feel ashamed? And speaking meditation, I am doing meditation, without, but cannot conquer his own mind, which runs around his own whims. All the meditators should be careful what is said here. We are all meditating hours and hours, no? And allowing the mind to go anywhere, and I am like a slave following the mind, and I am sitting there in a movie hall. Sitting in the temple, I am gone to maybe some feast, someplace, some friends, and I am meditating. Well, this is a stupid mind. So, forcefully try to control the mind and conquer the mind. 19th verse. The only duty is to get victory over the God that is called mind. You want to conquer anything? Victory over? Conquer your own mind. And that is the God. You will conquer God. All gods will come under you if you control your mind. The conquered mind is alone. Mind alone offers success to accomplish all the needs. Therefore, without conquering the mind, all the hardship of performing spiritual practice is going into vain. So, conquer the mind, control the mind, have mastery over your mind. Don't be a slave of the mind. All these verses repeatedly give us this idea. Page 179, verse number 20. The absence of all types of anxieties is the cause of attainment of all types of wealth. Who is a wealthy person? Who has no anxiety? No. They have enough money, but every moment is taking so much pills because his anxiety, worries, stock market, what is going to happen? And this and that, day and night thinking. So where is the peace? Rather, a person who has no money and they have no serious thoughts like that. The mind is not being bothered by that. So, for the absence of the anxiety alone is liberation. To conquer the three worlds without conquering one's own mind is insignificant like a blade of grass. You conquer the whole world, you become the richest guy in the world, but you have always anxieties and worries and tension, then you are worst guy in the world, and you are under the spell of Maya or your mind. 21st verse. Holy company, renunciation of desires, discrimination over the science of spirituality, and pranayama or cessation of the vibration of the prana vital air. These four are the means to conquer the mind. Now, how will you conquer the mind? Jnana, karma, yoga, bhakti. So what he says, you go to bhakti. How will you generate bhakti? Go to holy people, holy men. How will you reach the mind free? Detach, renunciation. How will you reach selfless work? And your breathing, control your breath so that the disturbed mind will be peaceful. So these are the four means to reach acquire the conquering the mind. 22nd verse on page 181. To a person wearing a leather shoe, it seems as if the entire earth is covered with leather. In a similar way, when the mind is conquered, the entire universe is really clearly revealed as if flowing with the nectar of juice. As you are walking on the road, your shoes are there in your feet, no? So you think that the whole world is covered with a what you call a skin. eh? um, uh, in which your shoes are made. That means whether it's a pebble, whether it's a stone, whether it's a pin or nail, you don't feel anything. Similarly, this is giving the example that when the mind is conquered, when one can control the mind, this entire universe will clearly reveal. How? As if it is flowing with nectar. There's nothing but flow of nectar. Everywhere is ananda, ananda, ananda. Joy, 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 bliss, bliss, bliss. 24th verse. When the mind is dissolved, all the dual knowledge and the knowledge of oneness are also in every manner dissolved along with it. When the mind is perfectly dissolved, merged, it does not, likes and dislikes are gone, then what will happen? Then the dual knowledge and the knowledge of oneness, there is two, this idea will also go. God is one, that idea. Oneness idea about Brahman, Brahman is one. If you say one, you might have an idea of two. So the idea of one, idea of two, all will disappear. Then there remains the one and only Supreme Brahman, which is calm, eternal, and free from affliction. This is the last verse, 25. The supreme bliss is experienced by the wise one, who has attained the state of Brahman consciousness and has gone beyond the cycle of old age and death, cannot be compared with anything else. He is giving the idea, if one can reach that state, perfect joy, perfect peace, perfect blessings come in his life. So, what is the conclusion? Conclusion is that control your mind, dissolve your mind, and how? Taking the help of your pranayama, taking the help of your analysis, taking the help that it is the play of the mind. Don't pamper the mind, don't follow the mind, rather try to be witness of the mind, try to control it, try to master it, and with your mind is creating all this confusion, so don't get confused anymore. Come back to your own self. So this is the end of the chapter. So we'll next class will be next week. We'll then read the chapter number 5, the destruction of the latent impression. Today we talked about the mind, which we know. But even if one can succeed in destroying rambling, but there is some subconscious desire, latent impression that will be bothering, finer struggle that is to be also dissolved. So next chapter will be dealt with that. Okay, Jai Ma. It is true that the mind develops frustration after continuous pursuit of some worldly desire, but that frustration does not seem to last, and taste develops for desire again. How to solve that problem? Here comes, yes, how to solve this problem. Yes, the question is that mind develops frustration if we go on tasting something or enjoying something. Okay, I don't like, but again that desire comes. So how to do that? There comes this, what we read today. You have to use your mind and analyze what you are gaining by pursuing these objects of desire. How much joy you got, how much energy you have spent for it, how much loss of your own other efforts have been given for that. So if you analyze, make a balance sheet every day. That means you should be aware. It's a aware, conscious mind. A mind should be conscious. Suppose I eat, suppose I fail. As I give the example, ice cream is bad, my cholesterol is getting high, but I get it. Yes, I have failed today. But as soon as you eat, enjoy that, and then afterwards sit and analyze. Okay, mind, you betrayed me. I took it again. I thought I would not take, but I took it today. Are you happy with it? Next time, be careful. Talk to your mind, observe the mind, just make a friendship with the mind. Mind will ultimately cooperate. So we have to first observe if someone is playing hide and seek with you. If you do not know that that person is playing with you hide and seek, so you have to catch him in right point. That's why we have to be watchful about our mind, not to pamper the mind, but with proper care to catch the mind in right time. Hey, what are you doing? What are you saying? Huh? You decided that that is not good, you will not go for this, and now again going today. Okay, you've gone full. Are you happy now? But now, next day, be careful. Just talk, last analyze, and see the consequence, good or bad, what consequence will bring you. So practice, that practice is necessary. A test will then be, and also you have to give positive test. Test is negative. This is only, it does not give me permanent joy, permanent peace, permanent happiness. That's one analysis. But give the mind something positive. Take the mind to a holy company. Take the mind to Vedanta thinking. Sit, now see, I am infinite, birthless, deathless. I am beyond body. Think 10 times. You see a touch of your other identity. You give a test of to the mind is yes, this is also available and that is also available. What do you want to take? So we'll have to practice sadhu sangha, holy company. We'll have to think, meditate on Brahman, Atman, or your Ishta Devata, repeat the holy name, do some pranayama, all these methodologies together. You have to be watchful what your mind is doing. So this is the way we gradually overcome. And of course, God's grace helps us. One, if we are sincere, God's grace also comes into the way to help conquer our mind. It is a lifelong struggle. All the yogis you hear doing all austerities for what? Physical austerity is nothing because it is good, but is nothing. Much more is mental austerity. Mental austerity gives purification. Mental observation of the mind, how the mind is playing trick with me every day, morning till night. And I pamper the mind because it's my mind. I don't judge whether it is right, whether it is good, whether it is beneficial, whether it is making me spiritual, or whether it is taking me away from my goal of life. So we don't analyze those things. We are so overwhelmed. That's the play of the mind. Mind tells, I am right always. All the time, mind will say, I am right, and justify. You can justify with others, but you cannot justify with yourself. You should be honest to yourself. So this is to be observing the mind, observing its finer functions, and to be free from all these things gradually. It will take time, lifelong struggle, but we have to be watchful, watchful, watchful. It is said that when a thief comes to steal something, no? Thief, when he is very active, when he does not find anybody observing him, no? The mind is like that. Mind wants to steal this and that and play trick. But if one says, hey, mind is being observed, hey, mind, where do you go? Hey, what did you do? Hey, you said you will do this and are you doing this? Observe, observe, observe. Then mind will be shy. And then he'll be, no, sorry. First they will not sorry. I did it. Right. That's my thing. Go on. That means unruly mind. And then if you observe regularly and see, and then mind will see someone is observing my movement and I'm going in wrong direction. But I can get more joy if I go to the right direction. Why I'm not going that direction? So observation is necessary. That is called the discernment, analysis, viveka. Okay, thank you. Okay, তাড়াতাড়ি দাও তাহলে। Okay, how do Himalayan yogis live without food or warm clothing? That I do not know. I am not a Himalayan yogi. But they live, how they live, because they are accustomed and they accept that type of life as a spiritual life. And they do physical austerity. Physical austerity has a meaning because the question is that how do the Himalayan yogis live without food or warm clothing? Yes, that is true. But they have taken that as a vow to control over body. My body wants, that's why I'll have to give food. My body wants, then I still have to give good clothing. Why? I'm not the servant of the body, I'm the master of the body. Body will have to do like this, and body will follow. Hey, okay, do it, but you will conquer. That's why they rub ashes on their body. Even they go in the morning, early morning, 4 o'clock, even the ice cold water, they take a dip. But that is a control over your body. Your body is saying no, you said yes, you will have to do it. That gives a control over gradually over the body, and then it will control will come in your mind. But much more physical austerity, many poor people, helpless people, they also do that. That is not any greatness because they are under the circumstances doing. But the monks and yogis, they do willfully. They accept this life. They, okay, I will live this way and I will have mastery over my body. I will not be a slave of my body. And then think of God as much as they can. So it is a practice, but we will suggest in the modern age, why shall we take so much trouble to go suffer that much in the physical level? Why not? We have our mental suffering that's much higher. Now we are in the civilized society with having money and house and building. We have psychological suffering much more, mental suffering. So how to control the mind, how to go over that, that's a bigger struggle. Anyone can be fasting by any means, that under circumstances, that anyone can do. Today fasting, I won't eat. Are you don't get any food, you don't eat. What is the greatness in it? But I will not follow my mental dictate. I will not be a stupid guy. I will not be arrogant. Mind will treat this way, mind will go that way. And then you catch hold this way, it goes another way. So it's a very tricky area. Therefore, that is higher sadhana, mental restraint, mind control, to observe my own mind, how it is always belittling me, how it is always misguiding me, to understand that is. Okay?
Why does one imply there has to be two? Why can't there just be one Brahman?
What is that?
Why does one imply there has to be two?
Oh,
We often...
yeah. When you say in the duality, when one experiences one, that is a different thing. But so long you see one, means you have an idea of two. That means you live in duality, whether you say or not say. But when that concept of one is gone, as also one, two is also gone, or many is gone, that is the state of perfection. That is beyond duality, beyond oneness. Oneness, why is saying whenever I say two in our regular life, look at that, we have the concept of one. When I say one, automatically I have a concept of two. But it is a state when you go higher and higher in the realm of spiritual experience, when Ami, I, all are dropped. The sun is gone, moon is gone, stars are gone, the earth is gone, the people, the environment, everything is gone, my body identity gone, my associate ideas with the body, what are related things are gone. But now go Swamiji's song of the Samadhi. There he says, it goes up, 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 up in such a way, and then you see that along last line is the ego. I. And I means I am there, and I am the only I am there. Only I am there. That I also dissolves. Then what remains? Who will say? That is the beyond duality, beyond oneness. Before that, duality remains. Even if you say one, that's why one means two. Ramakrishna said there must be two. Right? So we end here today, and tomorrow will be Swami Sattamayananda. Oh, sorry. Tomorrow evening class, 10:30 class is there, no?
10.
10 o'clock, 10 a.m.
Mhm.
Meditation class.
Yeah, on the power of the mantra.
Acha. So power of the mantra, meditation class by Swami Sattamayananda tomorrow at 10 a.m. will be here. And evening, Swami Atma Tattvananda will give the gospel class tomorrow. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.